Hi guys, it's Lara. Thanks for watching and welcome back to my channel. About a year and a half ago, I kind of drastically reduced the amount of makeup products that I'm using on a daily basis, and it ended up being just two things I'm using daily. There are a few other options, so occasionally I will use a couple of additional products, but that is really not happening very often and usually only during winter. And I thought it would be fun to show you what my daily routine looks like and what the other options look like. But before we go on, I would like to dedicate today's video to Rachel Walsh. Rachel Walsh is a subscriber here, and thank you so much, Rachel, for your continuous support. I highly appreciate it. I'm always happy to see you in the comments. So Rachel broke her wrist and she's currently at home and there's not much she can do right now. So YouTube is definitely one of the things that help her to make the time a little bit less frustrating. And I thought it would be great if we would all together send her some healing energy. And I also wanted to film something of which I thought that she might enjoy. So if you want to know what my daily makeup routine with a few other options look like, then please keep watching. So the first thing I always do is to use eyebrow gel. That's something I'm using basically on a daily basis. Not necessarily because I would need to fill my eyebrows because I have microblading, but it's more as kind of styling because some of the eyebrow hairs like to stick into different directions and it looks like I have an angry caterpillar above my eyes, and that way I can put them in place so that they stay neat. And then I always grab my lash serum. This is a cruelty-free and vegan serum. It's a drugstore product, so it's super inexpensive, and I always apply it on both the upper and lower lash line. And while the lash serum is drying, I always grab my blush. So I have here, for example, this blush from BH Cosmetics. It's called Fiji Fun. I don't know if they still even have it. I think I bought this product in probably 2017 when I was in Minneapolis. And I have here this synthetic brush. It's a drugstore brand called Abilene, which is from one of the drugstores here in Europe. It's called Drogerie Mark. And I tapped the blush, I tapped the brush very lightly into the blush and start applying a small amount. And because it's me, I usually over blush anyway, so I start like a normal human being, and then I feel like, oh, I want more color, and mostly I end up looking like I have fever. So yeah, again, I'm not a beauty guru but I like having pink cheeks because I feel like it makes me look fresh and healthy, and I like a little touch of color, especially during the cold season because my skin gets really pale and I look like a ghost. So that is actually a decent amount, at least for me. So this blush is more of a pink shade. I sometimes like mixing it with a little bit of a peachy tone. So I have here this peachy tone from the brand Essence, again a cruelty-free brand, and quite a few of their products are vegan. This one is called Peach Me Up, and it's such a wonderful light orangey shade. And I find that when I use just the orangey shade, it's not always great for me unless I'm really tanned in summer. So that's why I apply it over the peach. Not over the peach. I can't even talk. Why can't I talk? So over the pink shade. And I usually just like, you know, like tap it in and then I kind of smudge it. And I don't do the usual swipe because you can tell how high my cheekbones are, and if I would swipe it like this, it would make them stand out a little bit more, and I feel like it makes my face look kind of like this. I don't like how it looks, so I'm just kind of more like doing this and then like smudging it like with blending brush, and yeah, that's what I like doing. This is an amazingly professional tutorial. Now that the lash serum is dry, sometimes I like grabbing these tweezers and curl my eyelashes. Now normally I do not wear mascara because I dye my eyelashes black, And I have also permanent makeup. I have a very thin fine line on both the upper and lower lash line, and that already frames my eyes. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit now. So now I curled the lashes, and if I would grab just this caffein serum and I would just brush my lashes through a little bit after they've been curled, it wouldn't necessarily look like makeup, but it already pops a little bit more, or like makes the eye pop a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, because since the lashes go a little bit up, it kind of opens the eyes. And then I normally just take a lip balm. I like tinted lip balm, so this one was a drugstore product, but it's been discontinued, to my big sadness, because I really like this one. It was by the brand Cranberry. It's the cherry lip balm, cruelty-free, and this one is also vegan. And when I zoom in, you can see it gives just a little tint, not really super shiny, but it makes the lips a little bit shiny. And again, I have permanent makeup also on my lips, so I don't really need much there. I also usually grab a cotton swab and dip it into a little bit of micellar water, and then I stretch my cheek out a little bit and wipe the blush off this Tattooed Beauty mark. And I usually reuse the cotton swab a couple of times because it's just makeup, it's not really dirty, and I don't think it's horrible to use the cotton swab a couple of times. So usually I have like one cotton swab the entire week. I use it a couple of days on one side, then I turn it, and that's just what I like doing. And that's normally my makeup. So here's what my face now looks like on daylight. I find that the bathroom light washes me a little bit out, and in this light the eyes look kind of bigger, and I feel like I look even a little bit fresher and not so pale. And a little close up on the eyes. Now let's go back to the bathroom, and I will show you what I'm doing sometimes when I feel like using a little bit more than just what you have just seen. Sometimes when I feel extra washed out, I would use a really pale, I wouldn't say beige, more like champagne color, and grab it with a small flat brush and apply it underneath my eyebrows to create a nice matte, very subtle highlight. Can I call it a highlight when it's not shiny? I don't even know. So basically that's what I sometimes do. Yeah, I think you can say highlight because it's a lighter color. So I would apply a small amount and I would kind of blend it out. This is, by the way, a super old brush. I don't even know how long I had this one, but I would guess probably 10 years. So that would be one thing. It kind of brightens the eyebrow area. Sometimes I also apply it just in the middle of the upper lid, and I just kind of tap it on the lid, and then I smudge it out, and I make sure that I go only towards the crease. And when you compare the eyes, I don't know if it looks bigger, but it looks kind of brighter. So that's what I also sometimes like doing. Again, just a small amount of this matte shade, and I don't even use any like eyeshadow base anymore, because since I'm not wearing regular like eyeshadow looks, it doesn't really matter. And this one is really nice. It's really nicely pigmented. It's, by the way, from the Carli Bybel palette that she created with BH Cosmetics. So I'm gonna open it so that you can know which one that was. That always was one of my favorite palettes. That I pronounce it wrong usually. So it's this one. So here's what it looks like on daylight. It does brighten the eye area a little bit, and I personally find that when I use this champagne shade on my lid and also underneath the eyebrows, it kind of creates an illusion of having a light beige eyeshadow in this area, because that looks now a little bit darker. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks almost as though I have some kind of beige neutral eyeshadows, but it's just this champagne color on the upper lid and beneath my eyebrows. So sometimes I would even apply a little bit of mascara when I really feel like it. So usually I would apply just on the upper lashes, and then I would see if I like it and if I feel like I need also on the bottom lashes. Some days I feel like on the upper lashes it's enough. There are days when I really want to have mascara also on the bottom lashes. It definitely depends on my mood. Here we are. So it's just the upper lash mascara. It does make a difference, of course, because it makes the lashes thicker and longer, and I really like how it looks. However, I kind of can't be bothered on daily basis anymore, but I do like the look. So now I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna apply the mascara also on the bottom lashes. The mascara is, by the way, by the brand Catrice, which is a drugstore brand, cruelty-free, and many of their products are vegan. It has a silicone brush, which is my favorite type of brush for mascara. I actually, at the beginning, when they started making these, didn't want to have them. I like the classical mascara brushes, but over time I learned to love it. And then at some point I didn't want to have anything else. And the brush is also a little bit rounded, which is my absolutely favorite type of brush. Alright, so here it is. The bristles are really thin and the brush itself is not really thick, which is what I like, because I find that when mascaras have really thick brush, it's really hard to use it on the bottom lashes, in my opinion, and this is actually perfect. And here we have the mascara. It's called Glam Doll False Lashes mascara. There we go, that's what it looks like then. As pretty as I find this look, I would not honestly want to do this on daily basis anymore, partially because I became a little bit lazy when it comes to that, and partially because my priorities simply changed over the past year and a half. I learned that it makes literally zero difference for me whether I'm wearing makeup or not. So it has literally no influence on my life. And I also learned that not spending my time with doing makeup every day in the morning, or like doing like full makeup in the morning, is so beneficial for me, because I get to do way more every day, and it kind of made my life so much easier. And I'm not saying that makeup is bad. I think makeup can be a lot of fun if you enjoy it, and if you do it for the artistic side, you can have a lot of fun with that, create different looks, and it's also a time that you take for yourself, so it's kind of a me time. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, I think from my mind it is healthier not to use makeup that much. And also, I have to be honest, I was never that big into makeup. There were times when I played with it a little bit, especially when I started doing YouTube on my old channel that I'm not using anymore. I would post occasionally a few tutorials. I was playing with a few looks, but never with the intention to become a beauty guru, because I knew that my skills were limited. I always considered myself maybe average in that, but I was having fun with that. The problem for me personally was that the line between I'm enjoying makeup because I want to use it and I'm using makeup because I don't feel pretty enough started to blur, and that was not healthy for my mind. So me reducing it to just blush and eyebrow gel was the best thing that I could have done for myself. I will say though that I do think that I look prettier with makeup on, which is probably a result of lifelong brainwashing by the beauty industry, because we've been conditioned to think that way. So I'm kind of taking myself there with a grain of salt. So anyway, what changed for me during the past year and a half when I'm using basically just 2 products on daily basis? First of all, my skin got so much better. It's crazy. Also, the skin around my eyes looks also firmer. And I'm using basically the same products, but it looks so much better since I stopped using eyeshadows on a daily basis and eyeshadow base and stuff like that. It feels to me like I'm kind of not weighing it down and my skin can breathe, and maybe that's why it glows literally usually. Unless I've ate too much chocolate over a certain period of time, because then I get pimples. And I know it, but I still do it sometimes, which is that's a different video. Anyway, so that changed. Also, I calculated how much time I used to spend on makeup. So I usually spent about half an hour every morning in the bathroom for my makeup. So that's about 182 hours per year. That's a shitload of time. And now I get to do something else during that time. And again, I'm not bashing on makeup. If you still enjoy makeup and if you like to take this time for yourself, that is absolutely okay. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying that for me personally, it's not a priority anymore. So yeah, when I go somewhere in the morning, it's just so much easier in the morning because I know I get up, I do my hair, and if I do something with my face, fine. If I don't, it doesn't matter, as long as I brush my teeth and put on my clothes and my hair doesn't look like a freaking broomstick, then I'm fine. And I remember there were times, especially when I was depressed and when my anxiety was really bad, I used to feel like I cannot leave the house unless everything is perfect. The problem with me is that my idea of perfect is crazy sometimes because it has to be perfect. Maybe it's not to others, but like I have a certain idea of how it should look, and it would drive me crazy if there was like a little, like half a millimeter out of line. Ooh, I would immediately see that because I have an eye for these things. And it just made me more anxious. And the same was like with nail polish. That was one of the reasons why I stopped wearing nail polish, because if I had a little chip in one nail, it would freak the hell out of me and I would have to redo the whole nail. So you clearly see that it's not good for my mind. And I think I did myself a favor. Anyway, just like with anything, of course, I can make occasionally an exception if I would feel like it, which basically never really happened. But we are going to see the ballet Jewels by Balanchine this year in the State Opera, and I already know for that day I will want to put on makeup because I would want to feel special and festive, and I would want to kind of bring myself in the mood. So I'm probably gonna do just exactly what I'm wearing right now, this makeup, and I'm gonna do something special with my hair and pick something special from my wardrobe, and it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great evening. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I will never ever wear more than 2 products, but it's just not my priority anymore, and that's all. So anyway, one thing that came with this change in my life is though that I have so many palettes at home and I don't know what to do with that. I kind of want to keep a few of them, and some of them might be even on the verge of expiring, so I will probably have to throw some of them away. But I don't know what to do with that because they are at least partially used. I mean, it's probably a stupid question, but if I packed everything together that I know I'm not gonna be using anymore, would any of you want used palettes? Would you feel like it's creepy, or would you guys think like, hey, of course I'm gonna use that? Because I've been always using brushes and I could like spray it with some disinfection spray. But I'm a little hesitant because I don't want to offend anyone by offering used palettes. At the same time, they're just laying here and I feel like it's such a waste. So let me know your thoughts on that. And also I will have to go through all the stuff that I have in my bathroom and throw away some things because I'm pretty sure that the foundations that I have are expired. I think that even the eyeshadow base is dried. So if you're interested, I could film me decluttering makeup. Until then, you could let me know what I'm supposed to do with the used palettes, because I don't know of any place here in Austria where I could donate that. So what should I do with them? Well, so I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you want to share your thoughts on makeup, you're welcome to do that in the comments. We can continue the discussion there. It's always very interesting for me to read other people's perspective. And I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that Rachel enjoyed today's video. So Rachel, I wish you a speed recovery. I hope that your wrist is gonna heal as fast as possible and that you're not in too much pain. I'm sending you so much love and healing energy. And thank you all so much for watching. I love you guys so much and see you soon. Bye.